Hello there. Welcome to part 3 of the Building a Design Portfolio tutorial, where we are coding up a portfolio site. In part 1 and 2, this is where we got. So we have our side navigation, which I can hover over, and then we have our side drawer hamburger menu. So if I click on this, it opens and closes. Now in part 3, let's go to the final version, which I just opened up. Now in part 3, this final episode, you're going to make this bottom navigation, which is hoverable, and then the project appears above. So let's jump into the code. So let's scroll down in our HTML to below the header. If I hover over, I can see where it closes. And we're going to start adding in our slide navigation at the bottom. So I'm going to start this with a div, and I'm going to give this ID of slide nav. Actually, instead of slide nav, let's call this bottom nav. And then within this bottom nav, I'm going to create an unordered list, and I'm going to have list items, and each of these items are going to be the numbers. So I'm going to give each list item the class of number menu. And within the list items, I'm going to add an A tag and give it an href of hash. And then we're going to just add our numbers to begin with. So 01. And then let's copy this whole list item and let's paste it 6 times. Then this is 2, 3. Sure, you can count. Okay, cool. So let's start styling that up. So we're going to scroll down in our CSS, and let's just make a comment to ourselves so we know what this code is all about. So I'm going to target the bottom nav now. So hash bottom nav, give it a position of fixed, and a bottom, so we want it right at the bottom, 60 pixels, and a right of also 60 pixels. Now let's target the LI items within our UL and slide nav. So we're going to go, bottom nav. Switch the names on myself. Bottom nav, UL, LI. So we're actually targeting the UL and the LI. So we're going to give it a margin of 0, padding 0. And then we want to get rid of the bullet points that come in with ULs. So we're going to do list style none. And we're going to display it inline block. Next, we're going to go to the bottom nav again and target just the list items and give them margin right of 10 pixels. And that's all we have to do so far. Let's see what we have right now. Okay, so we now have our items at the bottom and they're clickable. But we are going to take this a step further and add our hoverable images. So from here, I'm going to go into the index.js or JavaScript file. Below all this hamburger code, I'm going to start making our number menu code. So I'm going to target the nav items themselves by doing, again, DOM manipulation, which if you watched part 2, you'll understand. So document dot, this time we're going to get elements by class name, and the class is number menu. Now we're going to add 2 functions. So the first function is going to be onHover. And okay, so number menu consists of all of these classes, right? And we have 6 of them. So these items are in a pseudo array. So we want to target each one individually. So we want to send down the index of the item. And then we want to target the nav items at that index. And we want, when you hover, to add to the class list the class of image mode. And we're not done quite yet. Let's just copy this whole function because we want to remove the class when you move out of the hover mode. So we're going to call it mout. And then the same thing, but we want to remove the class. So let's save all of that and jump back to our HTML. So we want to add the on mouse over, which is what is doing the hover, and we want to add on mouse out, which is removing the hover. So to our li, we're going to add on mouse over, and we want to call our on hover function that we just created. And for this first one, the index is going to be 0. And let's copy all of that. So that's on mouse over. We're going to paste that there, space. And this next one is on mouse out. Okay, that's all we need to do there. So let's copy this whole code, paste it in our next li. It's going to get a little tedious. So now we need to do one. Did not cover that. I did not copy that correctly. And then this is one. Let's copy it correctly this time. And we'll just paste it everywhere and then add our indexes in. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, don't forget a 3 there. Okay, cool. So the only thing we're missing right now is our image. So we're actually going to nest that within our a tag, right above the number. So let's add some spacing, and let's put our image tag in. So image, it's going to be self-closing, and the alt for this is going to be project hover. And then we're going to give it a class of img and a source. Okay, so the source, we could put an asset folder here. To make it easier for you guys to grab the image yourselves, I made an Imgur repository, you could call it, and it has all the images here. So to grab an image, you just right click and you want to copy image address. So go back to our code. So this is the first image, so we're gonna give it the source of that. And it should end with PNG or JPEG. That's how you know you copied it correctly. So let's actually copy that image, and we're going to paste it also in 4 because I only have 3 images, and this is just makes this process easier. And now let's also just we'll paste it in 2 and get back to it. So I'll save that, go here, our second image, same thing, right click, and this is 2. Well, it's index 1, but it is our project 2. And let's also paste it. Let's copy this image. Hope this copying of images and pasting them isn't too confusing. Basically, you just could copy it and place it within all of your A's. So we put that one there. So let's put it, doesn't really matter at this point because we're just repeating them. And then let's go back here. Let's grab the third one, right click. And we want to go to 2. Paste that in. And then I think the only one we're missing, right, is 6. Okay, so we're going to copy this image and we're going to paste it in 6. Let's double check. We have an image there, image there. Okay, we don't have an image in 3. So I'm just going to copy the same image and paste it there. We're going to have some duplicates in a row. If this was a project that you were serious about, or you want to add your own images in, just make sure that each one of these is different and in the right order. Now let's start styling this up. So we're just going to add some extra styling to the images, really to make them appear once image mode is appended to it. So once that class is there, then the magic is going to happen. So we want to target image mode, the new class we created, specifically on the image, and we are going to display inline flex and make this important. So we want to override what's actually going on before that. And then width is going to be 500 pixels, position absolute, and we want a z index of -1. And then a bottom, 100 pixels, and a right of 200 pixels. The next thing we want to target is within our number menu, the image itself. So before image mode, right, we want this to display none. So number menu, we don't want to see these images unless image mode class is added to our li. So number menu, img, display, none. So I'm just going to check to make sure it's working. So I'm going to go to the right one. Okay, so we are here. And if I hover over, they appear. Okay, so as we can see, they're not disappearing, right? So if I refresh, I hover over, it's still there. So I forgot one important thing. We want to call our function mouse out on mouse out, which makes sense. So let's go to the top one and do out. Let's just copy that instead of on hover, out. Okay, let's save that. Let's double check that that's working now. So we hover over, mouse out, awesome. So it's always good when something isn't going right, debug your code. You saw me do it in live time. I'm really happy with this. So again, I'll put the link to my Imgur below. And then I will also put a link to the GitHub repository where all of the code can be found. So if you get stuck or just want to see the final version, check out the description. And I'll leave you there. Thank you for tuning into this series. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to subscribe for more tutorials, please do. Have a great day. Bye.